Hi, ladies and gentlemen. You are watching and listening to another shaking edition of Sipping Off the Cuff. I'm Mike Morales here in Southern California. That gentleman out there is
Shaking Skip Falconer in Los Angeles, California.
Skip a shaking in his boots. Yeah, we're just making a joke here, folks. If you haven't watched any of the other reviews for this new tequila that we're going to present to you, we had an earthquake about an hour before we went on the air. So before we started recording this, and Skip must be in the flight pattern of the fault line. Out here in the armpit of the San Gabriel Valley, we felt nothing. Nothing.
Oh, it was a long one.
I've heard that before.
You know what? It was only 4.4.
Well, yeah, but see, the thing is, what people don't understand, if you've never been in an earthquake, sometimes the earthquakes are in the ocean, sometimes they're offshore, sometimes they're on a fault line. And then depending on the depth, the epicenter, the reason people felt it pretty much throughout Southern California, even down in Orange County, which is like 2 hours from us,
Yeah.
is because it was on not as deep.
Deep. Yeah.
It was a kind of a shallow epicenter. So so the shaking is more widespread as opposed to just down in the ocean or down in the depths where so it becomes more centralized in that area.
Hmm.
So I think that's why it's an interesting dichotomy when you live with earthquakes. You understand, well, I felt it and it was rolling and or just a jolt or whatever. And they'll tell you how many miles in it was. So anyway, we're just nerding out on earthquakes. But uh this is our new tequila that we're tasting. It's called Black Sheep.
Black Sheep.
And so far, we have raved about the Blanco and the Reposado. Look at those fine looking bubbles, man.
Fine looking bubbles.
Fine looking shampoo bubbles, lingering bubbles, folks. Look at all that. See if you can see that on my screen besides the fingerprints. Now, the glass itself is sprayed with some coloring, some sheen on it. So don't be alarmed. It's not, there's nothing wrong with the juice. Okay. It's it's just
What it is?
marketing. Yeah, it looks cool. I mean, it looks
Yeah,
cool.
it does.
It jumps out at you while it's on the shelf. It's designed to bring, to catch your attention. This is a ram's head collar, and it's kind of a tricky little sucker to take off, but it's part of their marketing and symbolism. There's I guess, is this a ram's head on? Yeah, there's a
Ramshead.
ram's
Mm,
head printed on the. You can't see it on my camera, but it's there. It's kind of like silk screened or painted on or something.
right there.
So,
You know what? We didn't tell them that this is coming out of 1547. We didn't tell them on the Reposado, but
yeah, we didn't, but now we'll just tell you up front. And
up
that's the
front, before we forget.
same distillery as Tromba is coming out of now. Sedano is being made there as well. Anybody's had Sedano. Alien, for those of our guys, all those of our friends in Las Vegas, Alien is everywhere. We've known that gentleman for a long time. One of the very steady tequilas that Fubar used to come out of there before the gentleman who owned it died or passed away. So there's a lot of less than 20 brands come out of there.
Yeah.
Small to mid-sized distillery. That's the kind of quality you want to look for. Okay, so
And so that's the kind of quality we've had.
yeah, yeah. Um, let's pour this. This is the
Well,
Añejo.
opening this little guy, you just pull the ram's head off.
He had to do this off camera because he didn't want to pull a mic and just
And you just
fumble with the cellophane for 20 minutes, right?
open up.
Oh,
And now you have to do is uncork it. Did you hear that pump?
I heard it.
Woo.
I heard it.
Oh, and
I know, right?
oh,
The nose is instant. It just comes right up to greet you.
oh, and that honey.
Yeah. Oh, honey. I'm going to pour mine in a Glencairn.
That's what I'm using.
I will say that again, the sheen is kind of misleading uh on the liquid, because when you pour it, the liquid, it's almost a similar color to the reposado. They're almost slightly the same. The difference in color is minimal, I would say.
Yeah, yeah, it is.
But no, this is more of a gold color. I will say this is more, it's not as pale as the Repo was. Now, the legs and tears on this one are taking its own sweet time.
Oh yeah,
But here they
yeah.
come. Here they come.
Oh, they're beautiful too. Oh,
Wow.
they're a little faster than
Yeah, it's a little bit thinner.
yeah.
The Repo had thicker legs and tears. Now here they come. No, this is okay. It's all right.
No, this is beautiful.
Yeah. Again, it's not an indication of quality. It's more of an indication of the mouth feel, what it's gonna feel like on your tongue and your palate, within your lip and gum and your cheeks. And the quality of the legs and tears will, if there's depth in the liquid, you'll notice it on the palate. That's what the legs and tears are designed to do. So
Oh my man, I am still getting that baked agave.
yeah, that Blanco, the baked guy had Blake again. Explain to folks how the Blanco was made again.
Well, it's baked and fermentation without fibers,
But it's baked in stone ovens, right?
stone ovens,
Okay.
um, and wooden vat, open air wooden vat, distilled in copper pots that are handmade.
The Blanco was an old school throwback tequila. Took me back a long time. And I'd forgotten what the distillery was until we started. I mean, I've had some of this, but I had it like 3 weeks ago, completely forgot. I didn't dissect anything. And I don't usually use my tools to enjoy tequila. I just pour it in a snifter. And I completely missed all these notes.
Mike, you know how
I,
you
oh yeah, yeah, in your pulse points.
just,
This
just, just. Oh
oh my God. So the sweet notes of the whiskey, is this
yeah.
still in barrels? Is they still using the Kentucky whiskey? Or
What
whiskey?
it doesn't. I got no information on that. I got no information on that. I'm assuming maybe it's a Kentucky whiskey.
Uh,
Well, no,
no,
Tennessee
it's Tennessee whiskey.
barrels,
Yeah, because Kentucky makes bourbon. Whole different
bourbon.
animal. Whole different animal. Uh, the notes on this were much higher, much brighter than they were in the Reposado. The Reposado, it didn't come up as strong as these are. This
Right.
is this is really coming up strong. And
Man,
I would say this is the Añejo, so it's at least spending a year in those barrels.
didn't really say.
They don't even
Didn't
say how old it is. Like
no information on what type of barrel or how long it's being rested. Um,
or if it's a blend, maybe they're blending it with older barrels. I have no idea. They're not. They don't need to tell you, but we'd like to know.
I
But the
get I get honey notes on here.
honey, toffee. I'm getting toffee,
Coffee, yes.
not butterscotch. It
No,
went from butterscotch to toffee because I got butterscotch on and honeysuckle on the reposado. This is deeper. These notes are deeper.
and I'm still getting a little bit of alcohol, but that's just doing its job.
Yeah, and the only way to really sense the alcohol just on its own is to not breathe through your mouth, just through your nose in the center of your glass.
Yeah,
And that's where you'll get it where it starts to go, oh wow, yeah, that is alcohol. But otherwise, it's like a tertiary, it's an afterthought. It's just what
yeah.
it's doing is it's presenting the other elements to your taste buds and to your olfactory senses. That's all. That's all it's there for. Okay, I got to dive in. This is
Getting
beautiful.
some toasted oak notes also.
Yeah, yeah. But see, I didn't get as much toast. I normally get a toast, depending on the barrel, in a reposado, but I didn't get that in the repo. I got more of the honeysuckle and the butterscotch. But this one does have a deeper note, deeper wood notes.
Yeah.
Wow. It's just bright and beautiful. Oh, you already dove in? Okay, fine. I'll join you. Did I lose you? Please don't say that. Skip, come back. Skip, we lost you there for a little while. I thought we were having another earthquake. I thought there was an
Oh,
aftershock or something.
man, I thought I was having another earthquake too.
Well, you know what? It's a good thing you didn't. If in case you did have an earthquake, swallow. Don't spit it out. It could be your
No,
last swallow, man.
no,
It could be the big one. Oh
I
no.
swallowed that. I swallowed that one, man, and it was so delicious.
Yeah. Well, okay. So let's go back to where we were. You know,
Yeah,
we were. Um, I got the same notes that I got on the reposado were a little bit more pronounced. In fact, a lot more pronounced on this añejo.
yeah.
Well, what did you get? While you because you held it in your mouth a lot longer than I did, and I think I spit mine out. As a matter of fact.
You know, I'm getting some plum.
Oh, I'll buy that. Yeah, there's some stone fruit.
Yeah,
Stone fruit means it's got pits. Okay, it's like a
yeah,
plum.
yeah,
It's got a
yeah.
pit in it, but it's not dried. You know, dried plum would be like a prune. Okay, it's not that.
It's not a prune. Apricot.
Mm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Mm.
yeah.
Mm. Mm. I'll buy apricot and plum. It doesn't lean toward apple. I don't get any green apple, but I bet if I let it evolve in my glass or as I go down this pour, it wouldn't surprise me if I got like green apple. The last time I tasted a green apple in a tequila was old school Chinaco.
Ah,
When it was still the bottle was still, made to look like a canteen.
yeah, yeah,
That was years ago, man. Again, I was living in New Mexico with the last time I had that. And you could smell it coming out of your glass. I think
yeah.
it was funny. I was
Eh,
doing housework and I poured some and I let it sit there and across the room I could smell it. It's like that smells like baked pears or something. It's weird.
Yeah. The pepper now is like a baked cinnamon.
Yeah, it's way more pronounced. I'm tasting it now. Now I spit mine out and it's lingering on my lip and gum.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Not a bad sign, folks. That's what you look for. You look for that.
No, no, that spice is now a baked spice.
Yeah, this is a really now I'm gonna say that this añejo would be great with like dessert. I think it would stand up to a decent meal, like a steak, maybe, right?
Mm, mm.
Um, I think that you could pair it with you could pair it with some. I know it. I wouldn't pair a lot of things with Mexican food. I mean, I've had some chefs tell me Mexican food's not the greatest for pairing with tequila, but I can tell you like a good Italian dinner,
Pasta. Yeah,
pasta.
yeah.
Yeah,
A
right.
nice
It
pasta
could be.
with Alfredo sauce.
Ooh, check you out. Then you go from sauce to yeah. See, that would be like you know, that would be like taking your
Not
palate from one end of
not
the
not,
spectrum
not
to
a
the
red
other.
not a red sauce, but
No, no.
but that Alfredo, oh, that would,
And
oh,
I wouldn't do this with barbecue either. I wouldn't do this with, steak is about as close as I wouldn't do like ribs. I wouldn't do uh maybe Texas barbecue. Maybe like, some I hear Tennessee barbecue is not bad. Not bad.
even haven't had any.
I mean either. But you folks in the South, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
It ain't all about the Austin barbecue or California barbecue.
I've had the North Carolina barbecue with the vinegar accents on it.
You know what else too would be really good? Like Mongolian barbecue, stuff
Mm,
like that. Or even
mm,
Japanese food.
yes.
Japanese food, like stuff from Benihana and stuff like that, where it's made on a grill, on a griddle. That would
Yeah.
be with some, even skirt steak. Okay, go there. Do some skirt steak. This
This is
would be a
this is nice. This is a nice
yeah, this would be really
Añejo.
good for it. It's versatile
And
for
just after dinner.
yeah, yeah.
Just after dinner.
I do
Just
cigars. I
nice
can
little
tell you this will be a great cigar pairing. Añejo
okay.
wouldn't go too bold with the cigar, but just
Mhm.
enough to make it interesting. What's our price point on this one?
This one, we're looking at 99 to 109.99 at Total Wine.
Uh, Again, those prices are you. I wouldn't balk at any of those prices. Not with considering the quality that they've been starting with. Sorry, I'm
Yeah.
recovering some stuff. With the quality that they start with, that's actually a fair price. And considering that the gentleman that made this happen, who had been threatening to send us these samples for about 2 years, Ray McBride, he handles the southeastern United States for Black Sheep. I'm sure he's a stakeholder in this brand. I knew him from years ago because he used to be the brand ambassador and also a stakeholder in Karma Tequila in that area. So it's Atlanta, Georgia, the South, all of that. That was his Florida. That was his territory. And so when he jumped to Black Sheep, I said, well, this has got to be interesting because you know that the quality of this tequila has got to be a cut above what he's used to because he was with Karma for I'd say over 10 years. That Karma's a
And
legacy tequila.
Karma's a hell of a tequila also, yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna go on a limb, bro, and just go Brand of Promise nominee, man.
Brand of Promise with the Ray McBride
Yeah.
card.
Thanks, Ray. Finally for
Thanks, Ray.
yeah, and even when they had it, when he was first telling us about it, I guess they rebranded, they rebottled it, and it's not even the original bottles that they were showing us at the
No,
beginning.
I like these bottles better.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
I've said in the previous reviews, it reminded me of La de Certeza, the bottle of Certeza tequila that was old school years ago, and I want to say that the Felipe Camarena was distilling that. I could be wrong. It's been a few years since I've had it, but the bottle is very reminiscent of that. And
That's
that's
right. That's right.
and
And I
that
think Tessa was a little taller.
yeah, Certeza was taller because what happened, marketing and packaging has changed over the years because, in the past, like Corralejo was known for that really long neck and blue bottle. But,
Right.
but then bartenders and shopkeepers were complaining, saying, I can't stick it on the shelf because it's too long.
Too long.
So they
Yeah.
had to repackage it and make it shorter neck, so that it was a marketing ploy because that way it would only go on the top shelf because there's no shelf above it. But now with the influx of tequilas, all fighting for your dollar and your top shelf, everything's
Yeah.
got to fit. It's all got to fit in the shelf. So I think
Yeah.
that's
This is gonna, this is gonna fit in my shelf.
I gotta hide it from you. I'm gonna put it in a box and stick it in storage because I'm not gonna. There's no telling it when or if I'll ever taste some stuff like this again. Yeah.
Oh,
Oh, now that it's opening up, smell it now. Smell your sample now.
oh, yeah.
Oh, that is heaven. That is really heavenly. And it's
And those fruits are coming through nicely.
yes. We have one more to do.
Yes.
That's an extra añejo.
My kind of thing.
I know. I know that's up your alley, so
Right up my alley.
wow, I'm even getting a little bit of like tobacco. Real slight, just at the bottom.
You know what? Yes.
A little bit, not a lot. And you know what it could be too? We had a gentleman who joined us for the corrido tasting this weekend, and it's interesting. He has his hobby is repairing baseball gloves, and a lot of times he'll pull leather cords with his mouth, and he said, "I taste leather," and he see this is where I'm used to normally tasting leather and tobacco would be in an aged spirit.
Uh-huh.
He kind of got that bitterness on the back end of the Blanco. And I
Mm.
said, well, okay, you're not resting these in barrels, so what can we determine that it is? Maybe it's not leather, maybe it's something close to it. But this is that tobacco, it's a borderline leather,
Yeah. Yeah.
borderline leather, like a tanned leather.
Yeah.
But it's mostly sweet notes. Like in the very top, it's almost all sweetness.
All sweet.
But when you go deeper, the layers, the complexity of this añejo, you've got deeper layers, like 2 or 3 layers, and you go, oh wow, there's a tobacco or there's a leather in there somewhere. Real slight. I've had tobacco much more pronounced in like extra añejos. Or stuff in bourbon barrels will have that, it'll come out really bourbony,
Yeah.
and it'll
Yeah.
have more of that tobacco kind of finish to it. How was your finish, by the way?
I would say medium.
Mm-hmm. Mm. And you know what? No, you're right. Medium to long.
Yeah.
And it's buttery. I'm getting butter.
Oh.
Yeah, it's very buttery on the palate. Now that it's opened up a little bit more, and I didn't swallow my first couple of sips. I dumped it. I spit it out. Sorry. Hey, the spit bucket is your friend. We're going through a lot of these, okay? Don't kill the messenger. This one's got a little bit, this is kind of buttery on your, and that, you know
Yeah.
what? I said that the Reposado had like butterscotch, and this one evolved into something a little bit deeper.
Right.
But on the palate, that all those notes and the honeysuckle and the butterscotch and all that, that turned into like really buttery on the palate.
Mm. Yeah.
I don't want to call it velvety because it's not that soft. Because it's got a you know what, Skip, it's got a really good aggressive finish.
Yeah, it does.
I'm surprised. It's
I
more
would- I, would- I could say silky.
yeah, I'll buy that. I'll buy silky. I got buttery because
Hmm.
because I've got a little bit of that butterscotch aftertaste. Like I say, it's evolving. It went from butterscotch to maybe just butter,
Yeah.
not scotchy scotch.
Right.
This is not
Right.
this is not aged in a scotch barrel at all. To our knowledge, it's not.
Right.
Because scotch will lend a whole other layer. You'll know right away if it's a scotch barrel.
Yeah.
Those of
Ray,
you who
Ray,
those of
you got to put some information down, man. You got to
dude,
give
you
us.
got to tell us. It's too late now. By the time you see this,
Yeah.
we're not gonna redo this again. But it'd be nice to.
And who cares?
Yeah, who cares? I know we care, but
Okay.
Anyway, that's our take. I say Brandon Promise nominee, Black Sheep. It's a
Black
it's
sheep.
a winner on Blanco Reposado Añejo. Stick with us. We have one more to
One
do,
more.
extra Añejo. So that's our take. I'm Mike Morales here in Southern California. That gentleman over there is.
Skip Falconer in Los Angeles, California.
You have been watching and listening to Sipping Off the Cuff on all of our channels and networks. Please subscribe, hit the notification bell, give us a like, leave us a comment, leave us an emoji, leave us a drink emoji. I dare you. But whatever you do, tomar sabiamente.
Sip wisely.